The first thing I want everyone to know about this video is that if you're looking for the guy who's going to take on everybody and go with every character on the top difficulty of Killer Instinct, this is not the video you want to watch. This is going to be awful, I'm going to tell you that, because I'm bad at fighting games, for one thing, but I'm especially bad at Killer Instinct because Killer Instinct is a pretty hardcore fighting game, in my opinion. So this is just me probably just trying to get through the game with a character or two, and I think I'm gonna go with Glacius. Yeah, I have actually the manual for this game, and the thing about how you know that this is not a good game for me to be trying to play is it breaks. Basically, Killer Instinct comes down to a very complex rules of how its combos and such works. So I'm surprised I even got that hit there. But it goes into basically basic combo theory, advanced combo theory, and master combo theory. I barely even feel confident in myself taking on the basic combo theory. But at least I can't believe I don't know how I did that. That's the problem with me in any fighting game, but especially this game, that something really impressive just happened and I somehow won this fight. I don't know how I'm doing any of it. It's not just that it's not like I'm just mashing buttons or anything like that, but I am blissfully unaware of anything that I'm doing right now. But hey, that's kind of how it is. This is how it's going to be with any fighting game, but it's especially Killer Instinct, which is a game I really like, too. I think Killer Instinct is maybe the best fighting game on the system, except maybe Flying Dragon. If you haven't played Flying Dragon, oh boy, when I get to that, that's a really fun game. That I remember, I probably haven't played that in like 10 years, but 10 years or more, honestly. But that is a fun game. They needed Street Fighter on this, and Capcom just completely ditched the 64 as well as Square and all those other guys, but Natsume really came through with a great Street Fighter clone. And Street Fighter's the closest thing to it, I guess, you know. So I have chosen Glacius. There's really no rhyme or reason behind choosing Glacius over anybody, not because I don't know any of these characters, it's just I like most of the characters in this game. That's one of the great strengths of Killer Instinct, is I think that the roster for the most part is pretty much all good. Like I'll just go real quick through all of them. I think the only character in this game I really don't care for is like TJ Combo. And the only reason for that is because I think that boxing style characters in fighting games are super awkward to me. And it's not to say that he completely does that all by only does punches or anything. I don't know this game well enough to say that for sure, but I have tried to play with him, at least in the Super Nintendo version, which is also really good. And you know, as bad as I am at this game, like I did very poorly with combo, and I just felt awkward using him. You see, I'm only playing as Kim right now because I ran out of time, but like, yeah, I mean, all the characters in this game are actually pretty solid. They did take out some characters from the original one for this game, and I'm upset about that. I see no reason for them to have done that when going from Killer Instinct 1 to 2, the arcade versions, you know. In the first Killer Instinct, there was a Velociraptor character who was pretty bomb. And there was also a slightly different... I think the Native American character, I don't even remember from just looking at it. The Native American character was in the first game, and now we have Tusk, who's slightly different. And there was also a lava-based character to sort of mirror Glacius. Pretty much all the characters are good, but the only disappointing thing is having had characters that were good and taking them away. The thing about Killer Instinct in particular is with combos and stuff. Any fighting game that I really play, I specifically like Mortal Kombat, and I probably like Killer Instinct because I like Mortal Kombat, and it's just very, very, very similar when they were making it. Clearly, it's mostly influenced by Mortal Kombat. But when I play Mortal Kombat, the reason I like it so much is because you can do really well, basically only knowing how to do your character's special moves and stuff. When I play with Scorpion, who is my favorite character and who basically is like my moniker for all like my personal online things, is I'm Scorpion and then a bunch of 9s and 1s, and I've been doing that for like 10 years. When I play the Scorpion, I know how to do the spear, I know how to do the teleport punch, I know how to do the Inferno and stuff. When I play Sub-Zero, who's also, you know, the other great character, I know how to do all the ice moves and everything, the clone, the freeze ice projectile thing, I forget the name of it, and the puddle and everything. And you can pretty much play Mortal Kombat like that. This game has those moves, but then it really just wants you to know how to basically win the match with one series of button presses, which I will never in my entire life know how to do with any game. So I really just fired it up and playing on the regular setting. And I pretty much anticipated that I would play like 1 or 2 matches and get my ass kicked so hard that I would have to shamefully go into the options menu and change the setting. I don't know how I did that. That's the thing. I don't know how I did that move. Like, it was a cool looking move, it involved a special move. I don't know how I did it. I tried to watch videos earlier this morning. I was trying to watch stuff so that I would, like, is there a really simple way to learn how to do things? And I mean, there are a couple easier things to understand. I guess that's what basic combo theory is in the manual. But for the most part, it really is just going over my head. And when you watch, like, oh, this person's doing Glacius, how do they play Glacius? Oh, well, this is a move I use all the time, and it has like 10 different button combinations in it. I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I wouldn't have that capacity for it. I really am gonna stick with Glacius, though. I do like him. I like Fulgore, the robot character, cyborg, whatever he may be. These characters all have backstories and everything that I don't know quite as well as Mortal Kombat, because I've been playing Mortal Kombat since I was like 12. That was a great combo. I don't know how I did that. The question I've always had is which character in Killer Instinct is kind of like the mascot? Because one would assume that that TJ Combo actually is the mascot, because his name is Combo, and that's kind of their whole deal. But the boss character of this game is on the front of the cartridge. I don't actually know what the box looks like as far as which characters are on it. I think it's like 2 characters fighting. But I also kind of assume that Jago is a big deal too. And Spinal is on the Killer Cuts thing from the Super Nintendo, which is really cool. That they always put that in there, because it's a really great soundtrack on both games that you can't hear because I'm talking. But like when I think of Mortal Kombat, like I think of Liu Kang. I'm gonna keep drawing comparisons to Mortal Kombat because as much as I like both games, I know Mortal Kombat better. Mortal Kombat, you have Liu Kang, and then also Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and Raiden. And I think any of the first 8 characters kind of come down to being the mascot characters, but specifically like those 4 that I just named are usually the ones you think of. They kind of seem like... I don't know anything about the Xbox One version of Killer Instinct either. Just throwing that out there. I know nothing. I don't know who they try to sell in this game. Maybe I should try somebody different right now. I'm gonna give Fulgore a shot. I vaguely remember being okay with Fulgore. This is probably going to be one of those games that probably only comes out to like 1 or 2 or 3 videos. Not because I'm necessarily going to run out of things to say as long as I keep talking about Mortal Kombat, the game I'm not playing, you know? But because I feel like I really need to focus to like accomplish something in this game because I'm so bad at it. You probably all just, if anybody in the world is watching this, they're probably better than me at this game and are just like dying to tell me how to play this. Because I'm not great at this game. I'm very, very bad at this game because I'm always bad at fighting games. I don't know what's happening. I think one thing is I've never in any fighting game really learned how to always think about blocking. And I think that's a key to being good at fighting games is you need to know how to block. It almost seems too obvious to really be not good at doing it. But I mean it's like in a baseball game. I never take pitches in a baseball game. I want to do shit. You want me to block, bro? Like I'll just flail my arms wildly and hope that I win. When I say I'm not really just mashing buttons or anything, that's a half truth. What I mean is that I have like vague ideas of like what I should be hitting to perform moves. See, can't really even focus. I have vague ideas of what I should be hitting so that I can perform moves. So you're not hearing me just like smash my hand on the controller and hope that something works. I'm just trying to sort of like do the vague motions that I've learned to do playing stuff like Mortal Kombat or God forbid me play Street Fighter. I always have this like hope every time I play a fighting game that I've never played before that the first thing that I go do is I try and do the quarter circle and a punch, so that I'll find out like right away if possible that okay, this game has, you know, standard style fighting setup. It's not Tekken, and of course, it's not Killer Instinct. The thing about Killer Instinct, of course, is it has those, but it also wants you to do other shit to use them. Well, I'm sucking with Fulgore. I'm gonna try Jago. I might end up going back to Glacius for a mirror match or something. Oh my god. Let's get icicles through the face and everything. See, blocking, that's a great idea, isn't it? Be a great idea. If I could block. I'd be so much better at every fighting game in the world if I actually like knew how to work blocks into my offensive strategy. There's some sort of Hadouken that he does. I just did it. Ooh, see? I don't know how I did that. It was great though. I want to do that again. I think that's how people really latch on to fighting games, is they kind of go in not knowing what they're doing. They mash buttons until something happens, and then they go, oh, I want to do that again. Which is a completely reasonable thing to do. I would love to do that. If I had the mindset for it. But if I do that and I go, oh, I want to do that again, but I don't know how to do it, I'm just gonna go, okay, I'm gonna go play Mario now. Or I'm gonna go play Smash Brothers, the fighting game that I'm actually decent at. I used to be really good at Smash Brothers, or at least I used to think I was really good at Smash Brothers. Now I'm okay at Smash Brothers. That video is a long ways off from here, so I can talk all I want about Smash Brothers. Ooh, see, I got him down to his second health bar. And immediately just took 2 freaking ice balls to the face. That's the thing about projectile attacks in fighting games. I somehow messed up my name earlier. Projectile attacks in fighting games are the worst thing. That's like the secret weapon to use against me, because if I'm face to face with the projectile attack, I'm not going to be able to decide. Even if you have 3 seconds, like I just did in that last fight, even if I have a good 3 seconds to react to it, I'm not going to know if I should dodge it or just block it. And I'll inevitably get hit by it, because if I try to dodge it, I'll fuck up the timing. If I try to block it, I'll do something wrong, because I'll, at the last second, decide I want to dodge it. One thing I will say is that I think the 64 controller is more suited to fighting games than the PS1 controller, or the Saturn controller was good. And but even though they only came out with like 2 joysticks, they weren't from Nintendo. I think the 64 of this era is the best suited to fighting games, because the buttons just line up like they should on an arcade cabinet. Whether or not anybody realizes it when they go to play the game, that's not really the point. Is at some point you do have to realize that it was almost like they wanted Killer Instinct to be their killer app. No, pun intended. Not that was a pun. See, I feel like I'm best with Glacius, except for that. Because when they were trying to build up hype for the 64, they obviously were showing off Killer Instinct a lot, and you know, it's supposed to be a launch title and everything. I can't help but feel that Killer Instinct actually did have something to do with how they designed the controller, based on how it eventually came out and how they tried to sell Killer Instinct so hard in the early goings before the system came out, when it was the Ultra 64. Oh, I dodged it! See? I can do things. I can do some things. Yep, the rest of them are just gonna be terrible at. You still watching after I gave the warning at the beginning of this video? Anybody? Yeah. This is terrible. I'm playing the game though. That's what's important. I'm playing the game. He just keeps grabbing my dick, and I don't know how to escape from the dick grab. Like, if I was in the arcade, I would have the same strategy, because I'm not changing it all based on where the controller is set up. Like, the buttons are all in the same place. They line up in punches and kicks. I'm kind of doing it exactly the way that I would be on the cabinet. Doing all the things I'm vaguely aware that I should be doing, not knowing if any of them work. Holy shit, I'm terrible at this game. Like, I say, like, at the beginning of videos at this point, that, like, yeah, I'm gonna be terrible at this game, so don't worry about it. Like, this isn't why I do it to show. I don't do it to show off. But Killer Instinct is the worst possible game to gauge if I'm actually good at any game by doing it this early on. You just stop doing that. You can't touch me there. because I'm exceptionally bad at Killer Instinct, and I've purposely like sought out the manual and how to do things in this game, but it's just way over my head. This will probably be the last fight I do for this video, because dear God, I need to, you know, accomplish something, and I could be here all night. But I'm doing it. I'm doing Killer Instinct, and then after this is going to be Cruising USA, which is not to say I'll absolutely own it at Cruising USA, but I'm very, very capable of playing that game and talking and getting somewhere, so that you're not watching me fight Glacius 10 times in a row, maybe with different characters, yes, but lose to him every single time. And it's like his health bar is down all the way, and but I didn't take the first bar out. See, that's what I'm talking about with projectiles. Like, he was all the way across the map and shot the projectile at me because that was the only thing he could really do, and I still couldn't react to it. And I was really, if you saw me right there, I was really chipping away at him that time. I was doing pretty well. But of course, you know, that's just the way that Killer Instinct goes. The whole idea is that if you get good at this game, you'll be able to take people out in, you know, one series of button presses, and the computer can do that too. If you're not skilled enough to break it. The whole idea of the combo breaker is, you know, that this game made that. So I'm supposed to be able to get out of those stupid, horrible combos that are just draining my entire health bar in one series of limb flailing that just beats the shit out of me. But I don't really know what I'm doing when I do that, so. And I took Spinal for our last little ride here. See if I have any kind of luck with him. I think I have beaten the Super Nintendo one with Spinal. Maybe with Spinal, maybe with Fulgore. Maybe both. I'm trying to remember it, because I know I have played through the Super Nintendo one and somehow beat it with somebody. I'm probably the easiest setting. But I know I use Spinal. I know I use Fulgore, and I know I use Glacius a lot of times. Let's see. I will end this particular video right here, and then try and go with this again, possibly from an easier difficulty setting. I don't think there's a way to get back out of this without resetting it, so. Yeah, so I have no problem being embarrassed, clearly. Oh, I can just do this. I have no problem being embarrassed on these videos. Tell me how bad I suck and everything. Just know that I'm aware I suck. I know I suck. And there's a whole bunch of modes that I'm not going to be able to do because they're... I mean, this is a really good multiplayer game. Oh, it's already on very easy. Wow. Yeah, I suck. That's okay. I'm gonna cut this off here. Go be embarrassed. It's okay. Alright. Peace.